How did the most powerful man on earth build the very empire you live inside today? Paris, the spring of 1815. Napoleon is packing a suitcase for a prison island. He had crowned himself emperor. He had forced Austria, Prussia, and Russia to their knees. His armies once ruled from Madrid to Moscow. Now look at what is left. A treasury scraped empty, soldiers who go unpaid, allies who switched sides, bonds with his name on them falling to nothing. They told you the Russian winter finished this man, the snow, the long retreat. Remember reading that in your schoolbooks? It is time to trade that lie for the truth. I will show you how a single ledger broke an emperor. So what was that ledger, and who was holding it? Follow the money. It will show you what really happened. To see how a ledger killed an empire, we go back to a wound France gave itself. Years before Napoleon, France tried something new. It printed money, a lot of it. The paper was called the Assignat. At first it worked. Trade moved, people spent. Then the state printed more. This is hyperinflation. Here is what that word means for us. Your paycheck buys a full cart of groceries on Monday. By Friday, it buys one loaf of bread. That is what hit France. The assignat lost almost all its value. In 1796, the state dragged the printing presses into a Paris square. They smashed them. They burned them. In front of a crowd. A young officer named Napoleon watched that lesson. He learned that paper money can rot a country from the inside. So when he took power, he put gold and silver coins into people's hands. It made France stable. It also trapped him, because gold is heavy, gold runs out, and gold cannot be printed when the war bill arrives. So how did Napoleon pay for 15 years of war? His armies marched into a country. They took its gold. They seized its taxes. They billed the locals for the cost of being conquered. So every war paid its own bill. Historians call this a plunder economy, but I call it a protection racket. Napoleon's trick worked, as long as he kept winning, as long as he kept expanding. A machine that runs on conquest must always conquer. Stop, and it dies. By 1803, you can see how starved for cash he was. Napoleon owned a giant piece of North America. It was called Louisiana. He could not defend it. He needed money more than land. So he sold it to the young United States, the famous Louisiana Purchase. But America had no cash either. So who actually paid? Here is the part they never taught you. The money came from a bank in London, Barings, a British bank. Britain and France were about to go to war, and a British bank handed Napoleon the gold to fight Britain. The deeper irony is worse. Those same bonds became the first American debt ever sold to the world. Modern American finance was born to fund Napoleon's war. The enemy's bank filled his war chest, and it walked away richer. But that funding was not enough to beat his enemy, because his enemy was something too strong to fight. Napoleon's enemy was the system. While France looted, Britain borrowed. That may sound strange to you. Britain's goal was to build a machine made of trust. At the heart of that trust sat the Bank of England, founded in 1694. Here is how it worked. The state sold slips of paper called bonds. A bond is just a promise. Lend me money now, and I pay you back later, with interest. Britain always paid, on time, every time. So people kept lending. By 1815, Britain owed more than twice everything the country made in a year. Think about that, borrowing 2 years of your income at once. It should have been a death sentence. Instead, it became a superpower. Because Britain could borrow what France had to steal. Investors saw the difference. They trusted French promises so little, they bought Napoleon's bonds only at a deep discount. The market had already picked a winner, just like the bets people place on Polymarket today. Years before the final battle, Napoleon was offering glory. Britain was offering something stronger, paying you back. Trust let Britain do what Napoleon never could. It let Britain buy armies. Britain had a huge navy and a small army, so it paid other nations to fight in its place. Soldiers nicknamed these payments the Golden Cavalry of St. George. The coins showed a knight on horseback. The gold did the charging. But there was a problem. Soldiers do not take paper. They want real gold and silver, in hand. By 1812, the Duke of Wellington needed a fortune in coin every month. The state could not move that much gold across a war zone, so they turned to one man. He was a German banker in London with 5 brothers spread across Europe. His name was Nathan Rothschild. The Rothschilds built a secret pipeline of gold. They gathered coins across the continent. They smuggled them to Wellington's army. And here is Napoleon's deadly mistake. His own finance minister told him not to worry. Gold leaving Britain, he said, was a sign Britain was going broke. He was wrong. That gold was not weakness leaking out. It was strength flowing to the front. Napoleon looked at the river drowning him, and he called it a leak. Napoleon was not blind. He saw that British power was money, and money came from trade. So he tried to choke it. He banned all of Europe from buying British goods. He called it the Continental system. The logic was simple. No trade, no profit. No profit, no gold. No gold, no British war. It failed. Badly. Britain ruled the sea. Napoleon could not enforce a blockade he could not reach. One British lord joked that Napoleon might as well blockade the moon. Smugglers flooded British goods into Europe anyway, and the ban hurt France more than its target. French ports went silent. French industry collapsed. Then came the breaking point. Russia grew tired of the rules and traded with Britain again. So in 1812, Napoleon marched 500,000 men into Russia to force them back in line. You know how that ended. The machine that had to keep moving finally stopped. And the moment it stopped, the math came for him. Let us pull one lesson from this into our own time. Now you know the truth beneath the schoolbook story. Napoleon had the better army. Britain had the better balance sheet. One empire ran on plunder. It needed a fresh victim every year. The other ran on trust. It could borrow straight through defeat and come back swinging. Wellington said it plainly before his last battle. Let us see who will pound longest. The side that could pay the longest won. Not the bravest, not the biggest. The one the market believed in. And that rule did not die at Waterloo. Look at the world today. The strongest power is still the one with the deepest, most trusted debt. In 1815, that power was London. Today it is the dollar. It is the United States Treasury. The same machine, a new owner. So ask yourself one quiet question. What happens when the world stops trusting a giant's debt? In the video on your screen, I answered that with an event from our own recent history. Watch it before it slips away. Follow the money. It will show you the truth.